Hello Sunshine, this is Joy from Michigan in the US, and today I am working on some pieces that were commissioned. They will be personalized with a name. They have specific colors and techniques that I will be doing, so they're all going to be a little different. I'm not sure I'll show you all of them because there was a large quantity that need to be done, but I'll show you at least a few of them. This first one, they are all going to be 8 by 10 canvases. That one had a little something on it. The first one's going to be a style that I really, really love, but I haven't had a lot of success with lately, so wish me luck. I hope it goes better than my last several. This is going to be a swipe in purple, turquoise green, lake blue, silver, and I'm going to add some white in for some little highlights, and then we will be swiping with my Gilly Kube recipe, which is very delicious. That's what she calls it. So it is violet plus crimson plus black until I got it to the deep color that I wanted, almost wine colored. So that's my swipe color. So that has silicone in it. My turquoise green has silicone and my violet has silicone. My white, lake blue, and silver do not. A tip that I haven't given you guys in a while, always mark your cups if they have silicone so you don't forget. If you save the paint and you come back to use it another time and you don't want silicone and you don't remember that there's silicone in that, that can create a problem. Another thing you can do is get some paint on your stick, wipe it off, and look, and you can see divots from the silicone. So that's a good way to test and see if you can't remember if that particular color has silicone in it or not. All right, so we are going to hop in. These are some pretty colors together. I think we need a little bit of contrast, which is why I'm going to add that white. So I just start by drizzling the paint on. We want enough paint to completely cover the canvas. We will swipe with another color over top of these, but we don't want to have to pull the color or stretch it across the canvas when we swipe. So that is my tip there. My goodness, I'm having a difficult time with my silver. This is iridescent fine silver by Golden. I mixed it just a little bit thin, so I'm a little bit nervous about how it's going to do. I don't want to lose it. It will add such a beautiful finish. It'll shine really nice when it's dry. So hopefully it's not too thin. I'm going to go ahead and go down this edge again, just to kind of give the paint encouragement to flow down the edges like I like. Okay, you know, I did my non-silicone colors first, and I probably should have done silicone first and then non-silicone on top of it, but alas, I've already done it, so it should still work out just fine. I am not going to worry about it, and I do still have my white to add. So white is a very dense color. If you've watched very many of my videos, I'm running out of my turquoise green, guys. You'll have seen that. Sorry, I can't talk and think at the same time apparently today. I shared a video a while back about paint densities, pardon me. So if you have a second, if you're curious about that, check out, it's a video by Left Brained Artist. I'm gonna save that cup in case I need more of that color. A video by Left Brained Artist, and he talks about the different density of paints and how it helps create cells, and white and black are both very dense paints, so it's helpful to know stuff like that when you're layering your paints, and just overall there's a lot to learn. It looks like it's just, oh, you throw paint on a canvas and kind of move it around and you get this beautiful masterpiece, but there is a lot of information to take in. So I used almost all that purple too, guys. I maybe have been too generous with how much paint I'm using, but so when I put the white on top, it should help create cells just because it's going to want to sink to the bottom underneath all these other paints. So that's the hope anyways. All right, so once you get your paint, you can see bare canvas here. Oh, maybe you can. Up here maybe where there's darker color around it. I don't worry about that too much. So the first thing we're going to do is just sort of tilt it back and forth. We want it to go over the edges. We want the paints to kind of roll over each other. And we want the paints to be evenly spread on the canvas. So you can see, maybe you can see, this side is not moving as much as this side, so I'm heavier handed over here. So I'm gonna see if I can run some of this paint right over to this other side just to help balance it out, because I don't care what my lines do. So when you're doing a swipe, there are times when it's helpful to have your lines go a certain way, but I feel like a swipe is more forgiving, although I say that about probably every technique. So yeah, I don't feel like your lines are critical to keep them. I kind of did them horizontally across the canvas. It's not important to keep those lines horizontal, in my opinion. We'll see, maybe I'll change my mind once I'm done with my swipe, but all right, so I feel like I've filled in all my holes. So now I know I've stretched the top of this canvas quite a bit, so I'm gonna try to stretch the paint back that way so that the paint is evenly distributed. And we don't have like real thick lines at the top and thinner lines at the bottom. So you kind of want colors evenly throughout. Boy, I hope that teal pops up. I feel like we lost a lot of that. Okay, I'm gonna clean my hands and then I'll be right back to show you guys how I do my swiping. All right, guys, I'm just about ready to swipe. I have a laminating sheet that I'm gonna use today for swiping with. It is an 8.5 by 11. And I just seal it on itself. You could always put something in there if you wanted to, but I haven't found that to be super important. So I'm just checking my edges, which I should have done off camera, I'm sorry. I did have to tilt it a little bit more this way because there was a big chunk that wasn't covered with anything. So for this type of pour, I don't have to worry about the color on my edges because I'm going to swipe. It's going to change the colors anyways. I just want to make sure there's enough paint there to pull it down over the edges. So I'm going to flip this around so I can easily see the other side. Been tripping over my words a lot lately, guys. Just using my fingers to fill in any empty spots. All right, I think we are ready to go. So my laminating, goodness sakes, guys. My swipe color is what I was trying to say. I'm gonna just make a little point so I can kind of control how much goes on. I'm gonna put a nice thickish line at the top here. Probably more color than I need, but we'll see. All right, brand new laminating sheet. I'm not very good at sealing it because you can see it's got bubbles, but it's a little bit wobbly. Okay, so just dropping that into that swipe color and then slowly pulling it down. I've got more of my laminating sheet in the colors than what I would like, but what do you do? You can see this edge got missed, this edge got missed. Don't worry too much about that. That's easy to fix. Let me clean off my laminating sheet. You do want to clean any swipe tool you use ever. Needs to be cleaned after it's used, every time. Sometimes I let it dry and then I have to scrub it off, and that's no fun. So I'm gonna take the time to do that right now. Oh, look how pretty that is. I'm really, really liking this. So I do have little tiny pieces of a laminating sheet that I cut. And you can, there's two things. You can just swipe it like it is, or you can dip it in your swipe color like so that you make sure you've got enough, and then fill in. Ooh, I'm pushing a little too hard. Went down to canvas there. Don't really want to do that. All right, we'll see how I do left-handed. It can be really hard to control the amount of pressure you have on your canvas. My arm just has a hitch and it's giddy up today. Okay. And just clean that off. So when I did my swipe and I tried to pull the paint over the edge, it wasn't very successful. So I do have bare canvas over here. I'm not really gonna worry about it, but there is something you can do. First of all, you can always go back and paint your edges. That's not an issue. But you can also, there's all this paint here on my table from the runoff when I wiped off my oh my gosh, my hands are shaking today, guys. I'm not sure why. So I just ran that over the edge. It won't match exactly, but it's better than not having anything on your canvas at that section. So it'll drip down the edges. Whatever it fills in, it fills in. Whatever it doesn't fill in, I'm not going to worry about, because there is paint on all of it now. It's just not matchy-matchy. So I am going to try real quick. There goes my cup. Gentle tilt that way. I'm just trying to see if I can encourage some of the paint to go over the edge, but you don't want to mess up your cells. I'm not getting the movement that I want, so we'll stop there. Okay, so one other step, which I feel like I've got plenty of cells in this, and the colors do tend to get muddier the further you swipe. I find that 8 by 10 is kind of a nice size for swiping. I've done a lot of 12 by 12s, and they tend to get muddy looking. So I'm not thrilled with that. But even in the kind of combined colors down here, I feel like it's still very pretty. So if the dark band here bothered you, you could take that same little swipe tool and swipe down this way, and it'll pull some of those colors up. I kind of like it on this piece. I feel like it gives it weight, and this becomes the bottom and this is the top, and I think it works really well. So, ooh, that is a really big flame. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Okay, so I just have my creme brulee torch. I'm just going to torch this to bring up any other cells that I can, especially down here in this thick swipe color. Always keep your flame moving. Don't stay in one spot for too long. You will burn your paint. You will see evidence of that. It almost looks like teeny tiny cells. It's actually teeny tiny burn marks, which you don't want. So, well, maybe you do. Maybe that becomes part of your art. I don't know. But all right, I'm going to take you guys in for a close-up. Let me know what you think of this one. Thanks so much for joining me. I will see you guys on the next one.